And so at this point, what I'd like to do is shift a little bit and look at the performance curve before we go into our groups. I'd want to just look at the performance curve so we kind of holistically have the performance curve and where we're trying to go with leadership and what happens when we hit the wall. So one of the things that I tend to say is when we're leaders, we need to live the majority of the time in high solid and high performing. Leadership is a choice. It's not an option to live outside of that. Now we're going to kind of move back and forth. You know, we're going to kind of sometimes be solid performers because we're in a learning mode and we're shifting, but for the most part, we're highly committed in living our behaviors to be in high solid and high performing. And so as leaders, how are we developing ourselves in order to be there so that we can develop the people to be and move to high solid and high performing? Because when you look at the curve, as Covey teaches us, our goal is to move the curve right and tight. Our goal is to move the results up and to have a tighter performance level of people, right? And in order to move the curve right and tight, our people are the ones helping us. And so their performance level matters. So our ability then, where do we hit the wall? It's coaching and developing our high performers, our solid performers, and continuing to provide coaching and development. And I think the first semester of school is 95% that. And it also is probably 5% of looking at where we have those toxic behaviors or low performers and addressing those low performance issues. And so when we're trying to move our solid and high performers and coaching and leading them, we also have to address some of the behaviors that get in the way. And when we, over time, probably not in the first semester, but within sometime in that first year, over time, if we're not addressing those low performing behaviors with critical conversations, then we hit the wall, because what happens to our high and solid performers as we're coaching them? They start losing their momentum, right? They start saying, I'm still motivated, but I'm taken down by a culture that's not where I need it to be, and I'm losing my momentum. And that's where we hit the wall. So our goal, right and tight, developing our leaders to develop people, developing leaders to develop each other, and moving our organization right and tight, and really starting with coaching and supporting high and solid performers, and then addressing those critical issues when we have to, and not turning our backs on them, because people will see that we've turned our backs when that occurs.